Good morning and welcome to another edition of Invitation to a Conversation. We are in an election season. We have 18 more days before November the 2nd. Get out your vote. And my today's guest is a true man of the working people, and he is Earnest Culbreath. Earnest Culbreath is the president and CEO of Brunswick Black Chamber. He is the CEO of LJR Construction, a high school football coach, CEO Youth Initiative Program. He had 38 years worked as a chemical operator at the wood resin plant. He built energy efficient homes, reconstruction of single family homes, head of a team of great grant writers, and he secured millions in grant funding. His education degrees is in mechanics and welding. Mr. Culbreath has dedicated his life to thinking and doing for the next generations. His work in building homes and promoting business opportunities allows him to be a high quality leader of the newly named Royal Black Chamber of Commerce. He plans to be an active supporter of living wage jobs for high school graduates as green job industries for the future of Brunswick. Candidate Earnest Culbreath will be the biggest supporter of investments in local businesses as the North Ward Commissioner. Ernest has a strong passion for youth and seniors. His life work has been dedicated to the economics and wealth of his community. And now I introduce to you candidate for North Ward Commissioner, Earnest Culbreath.
Hey, how you doing? This is Earnest Culbreath.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing just great. And yourself?
I'm blessed, and thank you for accepting my invitation to a conversation. And we're going to get right into this conversation. After your extensive work as a blue-collar worker in construction and building homes and helping the youth of the next generation, why politics?
Well, politics is a next level up so that we can get to a point that we can do and help a continuation of what has been already in place, that this can be betterment for the youth that we may in our future generation after generation of wealth.
So explain to me, let me know about your dedication, about you said in your bio that you dedicated your life to thinking and doing for the next generation. What is that process?
Well, the process is that once I have rolled through in my life story and others that have been around me, and as we have talked on a continuous basis about what has happened to the city of Brunswick, we see very low growth in the minority areas, and our housing have not changed in the last 75 years. We understood that a reconstructive house or redevelopment of that type of house is still a house 75 years old. And it's just a house with paint on it and maybe a little few other things. So we needed a change. A change must take place. We must take off the old code, the old way of doing things, and put on a new way of doing things. So we all came to that conclusion that this must take place. And so I stepped out forth and I said, I'll go. If I have to go by myself, I will go. And we will make a better place for our youth. It's our youth time now. Those who we have trained must come back to a better Brunswick, not to the same old Brunswick, but a better Brunswick. And wealth building is what needed to take place in the Black community.
You mentioned promoting business opportunities. Explain that. How would you go about doing that?
When you promote a business opportunity, first thing you must have a base of that business and its growth. So I decided that, and the others with me have decided that industry is the key point of making that happen. For is it the mom and pop stores are generated and created, you must have industry in place that will support those personnel that can buy and sell to those mom and pop stores. And so when you have industry in place, a environmental friendly industry, we can't remember now we have lost some 30,000 jobs in this area. And this is what causes such a dismal place that we look at now, because no one has brought in new industry. Everything has been taken away and very few things added to. We was promised a lot of things and we were delivered very few to none. So to make these mom and pop businesses grow and to start a new one, we must have a root base, and that base, in my opinion, should be in industry, and that industry then should feed those mom and pop stores that would be generated from the people that are
So,
working in the industry.
so my question to you is, how would you promote business opportunities?
Easy. We would take and add for is grants and for is showing them how to set up their business and to promote and show them how it's actually is done, instead of saying, well, $1,500 is not going to do it. So we need to show them how it's actually is done when you promote in business. That need to take place first. You need to get it so that it is done correctly. And that way that business can grow and they would understand how business is actually done.
In order to get to the people of what you're trying to do, how would you promote that business, those opportunities? How would you get that word out to the people?
Well, we have the big thing. We have mouth to mouth is a word to word or whatever you want to call it. That can happen. Or we have our newspaper, radio, and TV. These are the big three that we have to use in order to promote and get that word out. Say, hey, this is where you need to come if you want to start business. This is where you need to be. This is the place. So yes, we will have to do that. And these are the engines that promote wealth and help them with knowing where to go to help start their business. Yes, we have to do that.
Oh, I lost your picture.
Okay, hold on for a minute. Do you have me now?
Yes. Okay. What is the Royal Black Chamber of Commerce? What is their purpose and mission?
The Royal Black Chamber of Commerce is a commerce that is rooted with the National Black Chamber of Commerce. And our purpose is what we just to promote a better way of life and to promote that small business, that promote that industry that may come into these areas. We look at an area and see whether or not that area can handle this new business and what needed to be done to get it into another level. This is what one of the ideas of the Royal Black Chamber of Commerce. This is what our mission is, to do a better job of what is already in place. Take it and uproot it and replant it and watch it grow into a business that is prosperous throughout the county.
Do you have a chapter here in Brunswick, Georgia?
We are working on getting that done as we speak. We used to have one with the Black Chamber of Commerce, it was just a name change to the Royal Black Chamber of Commerce. So this is what we decided to do. And this is where we are right now as we put together the Royal Black Chamber of Commerce to get the chapter, get everything done here. We always have a chapter because we are a member of the National Black Chamber of Commerce. So we are giving that chapter here.
If you get the seat for commissioner, will you eventually run for mayor?
That is a future question. I can't answer that one. I can't answer that just now. No, I just couldn't tell you that right now, whether or not I will run for mayor in the future. But it is an idea and it is a thought. It is not something that's off the table, but it's there. We
Mhm.
have to see how things go.
You said you're an active supporter of living wage jobs for high school graduates. Who is talking about living wage jobs for high school graduates, and how are you supporting that?
Well, we are talking about living wage. It is a national talk right now about living wage. For right now, we know that if we had these other jobs paying eight, you cannot do anything with an $8, $9 an hour job. You have to have two jobs in order to support your family. If you're a single parent, then it wastes time for the family. There is none. So we say that, well, if you raise the living wage, the individual may have time to nurture the growth of the family. So what we're looking at now, man, it is ridiculous. Those are wages that should never be in the place that they are right now. For years upon years, we have been working for what I call slave wages. And those slave wages cannot no longer support the family and the ideas of the family of today.
Now,
The culture.
but you mentioned for high school graduates. Now, I do understand that there's some high school children that may have a child, but you mentioned support the living wage for high school graduates. But when you mention family units and everything, we're already out here. So what is your support for people who already are adults and have children that are in school? I mean, you specifically said jobs for high school graduates. I understand, but they should be going into college, tech school, the military to begin a career or trade.
But that is correct. When a high school kid come out, sure, those are the options that they have. We call them the big four options. But when you already have a family, well, we indicate that if you have industry in place, you will get a better living wage. Because if you got the training that is necessary, you get to these companies and you begin to earn a higher wage. Then yes, you can support your family a lot more better than what you can at a $9 an hour job or $7.25 an hour job. Yes, so the parent that's already in place need to make a little more than what they're making now for as a 15-hour job. They need to be up in the 20s and in the 30s in order to support that family. That can only come by training. I mean, no one is going to say, well, I'm going to give you a job making uh, $28 an hour, but you have no formal training. You must first get some type of training. I know it would be difficult with a parent to have a family, but we would have to make some type of sacrifice, whether it's a day a week or 2 days a week. Every afternoon, training ourselves so that we can apply ourselves to that industry.
What is green job industries?
Green job industries are the jobs that is created, such as solar panels, such as biodiesel. These are the two most important jobs that we have identified with that will be great green job or green energy jobs that will be very important in the growth of America right now. Is a transformation happening even in America with the green energy jobs. And these are the two most type of jobs that we looked at that would be beneficiary to this area here that will support those type of jobs. And this is what we are shooting at, getting those type of jobs here.
You said you also would be a supporter of investments in local businesses. What kind of support will you give for investing in local business? Are you talking about monetary? Are you talking about space? Are you talking about equipment? What kind of support of investments in local business are you talking about?
Well, we should always support monetarily. Yes, we should always have funding available for those small businesses to create more business. And for as equipment, yes, they should be able to. You're gonna need the money to buy the equipment. So those two work hand in hand with each other. So those two things that we will support, and we will look for that by working with the bankers and and work with any lending institution, even to the federal government, as to try to borrow this type of money so that they can borrow it. It's a revolving type of deal that you borrow the money to do the business and the business grow, and then they pay the money back and someone else can do the same thing. So this is what we were mainly speaking of.
What is your agenda if you become the next commissioner?
My agenda is to promote jobs. That's my main thing right now is jobs first, housing. For, why should you build a house and you can't afford to purchase the house? So what you need to do is build a structure that can support the housing. So you need the job that will pay the amount of salary that would allow you to buy the house. You know that material cost has quadrupled now in prices in some areas. So you have to have that type of job so that it can support that type of house. So that this is what our agenda will be: jobs, jobs, and jobs. More jobs. We need to make Atlanta South. We need to have the abundance of jobs that are here. We're contacting different industries and we're asking them to relocate here. Hey, we're here. We can give you a area that is teeming with growth. All we ask you to do is come take a look at what we have. We have the big three. The most important thing that you're going to need in job growth. We got great weather. We have a waterway. We have a railway. We have a highway. We have these things that we offer, and we're sitting right here waiting for you to come in while we ask you to come in and come take a look. Come see what we offer.
You mentioned affordable housing. What does the term affordable housing mean to you?
What the term affordable housing means to me is that what you can afford. I mean, let's be realistic. You can right now, if I was building a brand new house, I'm being in construction, it would cost in this area, because location means a lot, it would cost $150 to $175,000 just to build a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-carport garage house. This is what it would cost. This is exactly what it would cost you to build that. That's affordable. We all have our different means of saying what's affordable, what is not affordable. This is what I come up with affordable. And with all the other parts that we can add, the discounts that may be included in that. So this is what affordable means to me. Let's get it done. Easy way.
Is it a way where you're going again?
I know someone is calling me and I have to hang up and then you'll come back. Okay, just hold on for a minute. While I get rid of these callers here. Hold it while we try to get rid of them. Okay, you're back.
Mr. Culbreath, in order for our housing to be affordable, what should and for them to have the current amenities, what is the minimum price that a house should cost will be decent, affordable? Because I'm told that we only have high end to low end. There's nothing in between. So what should the total price of a house should be that it will be considerable for the middle and the low income to live in, to have all the current amenities of today?
That house should cost anywhere from $125,000 again to $175,000. All depends on the location of it. That's what it should cost.
You said 125,000 to 175,000?
Yes, and that depends upon location.
Okay. And with that total, and like you said, with the tax credit, what should be the basic affordable monthly mortgage or rent for these type price homes?
Well, that will go by your interest rate, or whatever your interest rate is at that particular time, if you get a fixed interest rate, it will be 3%, 4%. You got a decent deal about that house. So that's what determines the price of your house is your interest rate. Now in your PRT, principal rate and time. So if the time is 30 years on a mortgage and your rate is 3.4, 3.5, or whatever it may be at the time of that interest, because it fluctuates. And if you can get a set interest rate, then you will know what your house costs every month. Now, a good program that I had uh, taken is that if you pay your mortgage every 28th day of the month, you take in pay more toward the principal amount of that house than you do the interest. Therefore, a 30-year deal will become maybe a 15 to 18-year deal. And that's something the bankers may not tell you, but this is something that may be true. You have to take a look at this, because if you pay on the 28th, when they add up all the interest rate, you paid it. So on that 20th day, but the 29th day, they done added it. So be on the 28th day, if that's the day that they have chosen to pay, to gather up all your interest rate. So
So are you saying the days of $500, $600, $700 rent or mortgage is over? It's going to all be $800 to $1,000 a month?
no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if your mortgage is, say for instance, your mortgage is $500, and you paid it, if they say pay it on the 3rd or the 4th of each month, but if you pay it on the 28th of the month, you pay more on the principal.
Right.
So you're not paying it. So the 3rd or the 4th is meaningless to you, because you have already paid that note. Okay, because everything is a note then. So you've already paid that note, and you just paid it prior before they added it all up and sent it over and charge you with it. So you have paid it. So it comes down, as the principal amount comes down, the time frame that you're paying comes down.
Right.
So by having that 30 years, you're getting a lower amount to pay by having that 30 years, but by paying it on the 28th, you take a 30-year and make it a 15-year or 18-year.
Now I got that as far as buying a house, but right now, what they're calling affordable housing in the city is for renters is no less than $1,000 a month. So I'm saying to you, we discussed buying a home, but I'm talking about both renters and homeowners. So what is for a house that's 125,000 to 175,000, that rent will be nowhere near $500, $600, or $700. It's going to be close to between $800 and $1,000 a month. So what affordable housing in terms of renters for you that should be built in the city?
Well, when you're talking about rental units, remember that individual, that is a house that he has an investment in, and he wants good returns on his investment. So if he's renting it to you for $1,000, he have taxes, which they raise the taxes on it, and he have insurance. He have homeowners insurance, and he has, in our area, flood insurance weighs a lot on what that person may charge you, or company may charge you for rent. All of that is put into that rent, so that he may charge you, so that he may not get but $100 a month out of the whole deal. And again, he may get $300 a month out of each unit that he have, maybe 500. Who's to say? But that is what goes into a rental unit. So it would come out better that if you try to buy than you are to rent, because rent is actually the same cost of a house note in some terms. So you looking at renting and supposed to pay.
And that's what I'm asking you. Is that considered affordable housing to you for a renter in a low income area to pay $1,000 from $800 to $1,000 a month?
It's considered affordable. Like I said, location. It's affordable. It all depends where you are, where you're looking at, the locations of the unit. All this has a variance on what he's charging you or she charge you. But yes, to me, it is a variance that if you can pay that kind of money, then you should be able to buy. If you can afford that, you should be able to buy. That's the way I look at the affordable fund. If you afford to pay $1,000, you should be affordable to buy.
But based on people's incomes that are not making more than that are making less than $15 an hour, that's not considered affordable to me, even if they want to live in a decent area. So my question was just, what is your understanding and your price value of affordable housing? Because like you said, affordable housing is determined by the developer, because some people, affordable housing to them is $1,500 a month. Okay. And to affordable housing to somebody who's only making minimum wage, $1,500 a month is not affordable housing to them. Okay, let's move on. Another question I have for you is, the conversation always is at town hall meetings and forums for the new commissioners and mayors is always about what's coming to downtown Brunswick. Now, I have no problem with downtown Brunswick, but nobody is really talking about the vision for the urban communities throughout the city. And what is your opinion about the urban communities throughout the city, which surrounds the downtown area?
Well, my vision of it, I see better housing is the first thing that I look at for around. I think that we have built too many apartments in the inner city. We're taking away the big tracts of land that was in the city and put apartments there. And I've just been a fellow that's always been against apartments. I think that the area around downtown should reflect downtown. So that means that individuals that are around downtown should live in a quality of house that will look just like downtown. They should be having that type of housing in the surrounding areas. But you're building all these apartments, you're taking away the land that they could have built these houses on. And you built these apartments on. So now you're looking at scattered sites. And though you have those, I still say that how downtown look is how the house that you should be living in look. If it downtown look great, that house should look great.
So how
But
would
then again,
you promote when you become if you become commissioner, the next commissioner? So how would you, like you would promote jobs and you would promote support investments, how would you get the other people to promote establishing, rebuilding the urban communities throughout the city of Brunswick besides downtown?
well, what you have to do to promote that is again, is a tough question and how to promote downtown. And it's still, to me, it goes back to, in our promotion there, it should go back to creativity of better job. That is going to be the first thing you're going to have to do. You're going to have to create better job, better higher paying job. In order to make the surrounding area look like downtown, they must have that type of job that can support that type of housing so that you can do that which we just got through talking about, supporting that area. But in all areas, but right now we don't have that. We just don't have it.
And so you said that in your bio that you had a team of grant writers. So can't there be grants given to renovate or rebuild to reconstruct the urban communities that surround the downtown area?
It can be grants that are out there if we qualify. Remember, every grant is a competitive grant. And because it's there, that don't mean that we get it. That means that we apply, but we have not even did so much as apply for it. I mean, I've talked with individuals with DCA, with rural development, with all of these, with HUD, with all the brothers have never applied for much or nothing to get this type of grants and get this type of funding going. And so this is why they received nothing, because they didn't apply themselves. So yes, I would look for those grants. Some of them I've located, sometimes I've walked and told them about grants. They did nothing about it. I said, do you want me to apply for it? I said, why should I do that for you? You're the city. You stand a better chance that you can get that grant than I, because you're the city of Brunswick. So it earmarked it for our city. So once you apply, nothing never happens. They don't even have a grant writer. How are you going to apply for a grant without a grant writer? You can't do it. Then you give them a grant writer, they don't want to pay them. So where you at with it? So you just watch every grant just go by. Brother have just simply not applied themselves.
So would you be, so when you, if you could become commissioner, is that something that you would implement as a grant writer for the city?
You're right. Just every city needs a grant writer. Not only just one grant writer, the city brother could use 2 grant writers.
So you know that being on the commission is a team effort. So how would you get the other commissioners to buy into or to see your vision of getting grants to help, or the people that they have in downtown to revitalize the urban communities around downtown?
Well, I would show them what it would be profitable that we as leaders show the people that, look, we are looking out for your welfare, so that we would take these grant writers, and these grant writers will work great for us, and that they will give us the things that we need. So we definitely would need to have that in place. Look, we have capital and grants. We have big grants that they get every year, but it's not enough to serve the whole city. So yes, I would convince them, look, you work for the people, not the people working for you. You work for the people. And it's your sworn duty to make sure that they get the best that they can get of your service to them. So this is what I would try to convince them to see, that look, we need to do this. This needs to happen now. We're way behind. So let's just get this done.
What makes you stand out from the other candidates running for North Ward?
I am a visionary. I look and see what needs to be happening today for tomorrow. This is what I've always been. This is what I'm always going to be, a visionary, a person that looks into the future and see what the future may be. We have a port that's down in the dump that should be teeming. Why? I've talked with them numerous of times about the upgrade of the port. If we upgrade our port, the commerce would knock our door down. I've gotten into arguments with Savannah about you getting $34 billion a year. We're getting nothing, Holly. So we need to upgrade our port. I talked with the mayor about this, upgrading our port. I've given them all kinds of plans that will upgrade our port. I've given them plans concerning where we can have nurses and do more things of this nature, so we can be competitive throughout the area. But we have fallen on deaf ears. And yes, we gonna do it. I went out of town with them a couple of times. Said, look, this is what they're doing. It's not what we need to be doing. We maybe need to do something similar to that, But we need to look at our own thoughts and our own situation, and we need to feed into that. We are the whole city for other cities, and we need to take full advantage of that. This is what I explained it to them. You're the whole city. I ain't like a whole city. We need to be in a job created mode. Again, I keep saying this because this is what needs to happen. We need to be in a job created mode. We need to have 100 companies that the Royal Black Chamber of Commerce have contacted. I won't give it just sit there and say we did all this work and null and void. No, we're going to apply and ask those companies what they. We don't want your whole business, but give us 10%, 15% of what you do, and we'll take that. This is what we need to be doing.
Mr. Culbreath, what is your favorite scripture, phrase, or testimony that keeps you grounded?
Do unto others, have you would have others to do unto you. Be bold, be brave, be aggressive. And first of all, love the Lord with all our hearts and all our minds and all our thoughts. That's what we should do.
You said be bold, be what?
Be bold, be brave, and be aggressive.
Okay.
And love the Lord with all our hearts.
All right, and now we're coming down to our conversation. What advice or wisdom do you want to share with the people who've never been in politics before and wants to seek an elected chair?
For those things, be aggressive. Never take no for an answer. Always look at the future of what you can offer and offer that what you have to offer. And just never let no one tell you what you can't do. You do that what you can.
All right. And with that said, you heard him. This is a candidate for the North Ward for City Commissioners, Mr. Earnest Culbreath. We have 18 more days before Election Day. Get out your vote. And I believe we have another City Commissioners meeting coming up. So please attend those City Commissioners meeting and get to know your city of Brunswick. Thank you and have a blessed weekend.
Thank you, Ms. Bailey. Thank you.
You're welcome.